Take 11D3. Good evening, friends. My name is Jonathan. Welcome back. This is part 5 of the collection series. We're in the middle of it now. Got a lot to get through, so let's hustle it up. We'll start with a little housekeeping. Coffee cup of the day, which seems to have become a thing. Rainforest Cafe. I have no idea what that means. Let's see. Scent of the day. Scent of the day is Beach Hut Man by Amouage. This is a recent pickup. And going over my last video, I realized I misspoke about this. I said that this was a clove bomb, when in fact it is not a clove bomb. That's coming in the haul that I'm about to show you. I kind of got them mixed up. What this is, however, is a really nice galbanum. This is galbanum and mint, ivy, moss, vetiver. In the base it has myrrh and patchouli. That has grown on me real quick. I really like that. What I'm sampling today, I think the other day in Ramsey's stream, everybody got to talking about leathers, so I pulled out some of my leathers to revisit, and I'm kind of revisiting this today. And this is Acqua di Parma's leather. I think I like this, and this may be blasphemy, but I think I like this better than I like Tom Ford's Tuscan leather. Now, I'm a big fan of Tom Ford, but I'm a little bit more of an ombre leather fan than I am Tuscan leather. And for some reason, this one, although it's not quite the quality of Tom Ford, just seems to do that raspberry a little bit better for me. I really don't know how to call it. Okay, we're gonna dig into this little haul, and then we'll get into the thick of it. One thing I picked up in this haul is a sealed backup of Aramis's Tobacco Reserve, and this is a great fragrance. And the reason I picked up a backup to leave it sealed is that I feel like it's one of those fragrances that's gonna turn into one of those hard to get, much sought after, high priced cheapies now, and down the road I just feel like it'll be one of those bargaining chips that I can use in case I want to make a trade for something without burning cash. Okay, another thing I picked up is that clove bomb that I was speaking of, and that's this Bracken Man by Amouage. And look at these boxes. I love Amouage's presentations. They really are the bee's knees. Now, Bracken Man, I wasn't kidding, is a clove bomb. It's a very clove forward, spicy, aromatic fougere. Now, the more I sit with it, though, that clove starts to blend into the rest of the equation, and this is really turning out to be very nice. Like when I first smelled it, all I could smell was that clove, but now it's really turning out to be very nice. I'm glad I picked that up. Another thing I picked up, and I've never smelled anything from this line, but I thought before things get crazy, out of control, expensive, the way Guerlain discontinues things and repackages things, this is L'Instant de Guerlain Eau de Toilette. And this is the older packaging, the older bottle, and such a great bottle. Guerlain used to do great packaging. I just don't understand why they've gotten away from it. Well, I think I could guess, it's a money thing, but this is very good. I can only imagine what the Eau de Parfum smells like, and from what I'm seeing, the Eau de Parfum in the Listerine bottles is going for a real decent price. I'm going to have to pick it up before they start getting scarce. Okay. I picked this up off FragranceNet, and the reason it caught my eye, and this is Nema #1 from Pascal, sorry about the reflection, Pascal Morabito. And you may be familiar with Or Noir and Or Black from this house. And the reason it's caught my eye is because on FragranceNet, and I think even Fragrantica, this says Nema Oud #1, and nowhere on the packaging and nowhere on the bottle, which is very cool, by the way. Here's the bottle. Does it say Oud? Excuse the fingerprints. I should be ashamed. It doesn't say Oud anywhere on the packaging. I can't figure it out. It's such a strange thing. And there's another separate line of Nema fragrances that have nothing to do with this Pascal Morbido. So, kind of curious, so I just picked it up. And I really haven't had time to dig into it. But speaking of leathers, it's a bone dry leather is what I'm getting from it initially, and I'll report back on that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to dig into what I have on the table over here, and what this is from that big unit behind me, and it's everything that was on the bottom shelf. And everything that was on the bottom shelf is basically a collection of stuff I got early on. Stuff I took flyers on, things I was buying to get to know what I did and didn't like, things suggested by Ashton and Steven and Sebastian and all them. So it's going to be a lot of odd stuff that you wouldn't think that I'd have in my collection, but it's the stuff I got before I really started to curate and go after things that I really like. So we'll just start anywhere. Speaking of leathers, this is kind of a leather, almost more of a suede, I think, and this is Lalique's Pour Homme, and this is Écus, and this is really nice. Again, it's a soft leather, almost a suede, and it has really nice violet note running through it, which I dig. Okay, we've got 3 from the same house, and they're basically the 3 masculine offerings, and this is Marbert, and this is Marbert Man, and Marbert Man I think might be the favorite of the 3 for me. It's really nice. It's really very nice. This is Marbert Homme. Love the built-in sprayers. I don't know why, I just get a kick out of those. That one's not quite as good as the other 2, and this I thought was the least of my favorites from the house, but I was urged by a friend to take another look at it, and I did, and this one's starting to grow on me. I'm starting to change my mind about this one. The Gentleman from Marbert is very good. Okay, we're just going to keep trucking because we got a decent amount on this table over here. Okay, speaking of Tuscan leather, this is believe it or don't, a clone from Rasasi, and you all know what this is, La Yucawam. And La Yucawam, I gotta tell you what, this may be better than Tuscan leather for me, and maybe just because I don't care for Tuscan leather. I'm finding other things that kind of scratch the itch a little bit better. It's not Tom Ford quality, but I'll tell you what, it's a damn good clone. And I don't think I'm alone in saying that. Okay, here's 2 from a house that I've had trusted sources tell me to take a look at. And this is Ajmal. And these just took a flyer on the first 2 that I saw that looked semi-interesting. And this one's called Facetti. And look at this bottle. This has got to be one of the coolest bottles in my collection. And it's a fruity floral aquatic, but it's done in a very unique way. Like, I guess this is a Middle Eastern take on what they think aquatics are supposed to be. And it's just quirky enough to be good. Here's another one with another great bottle. It's a magnetic cap, and I don't know why I dig that, but and the texture of the bottle, it's kind of a great little bottle. And this one is called Aristocrat. This one's, the jury's still out on this one, I'm not sure. It's, for some reason, it's got a real perfumey top. The dry down is a lot better, but I'm still getting to know that one, so I'll report back on that. Okay, this needs no introduction. this is from the House of Balenciaga, and this is Cristobal. The only thing wrong with this bottle is that there's not enough juice in it. I'm eventually going to have to go after a full bottle of this. Coffee and tea. This is a Gerard Anthony creation, and I've said it before and I'll say it again. Gerard Anthony doesn't make bad fragrances, in my opinion. Okay, this is probably one of the first couple of fragrances I bought once I started going down the rabbit hole, and this is Valentino Uomo. And this is just a regular old Valentino Uomo. You can tell how long I've had it. I put a solid dent in that early on. This is, while this is good, it's kind of moved away from that sweet, sweet DNA. Unless it's like really cold, and I don't know, I gotta be in the right mood for that. Okay, I have not one but two bottles of this fragrance because it is that damn good. And from the House of Azzaro, this is Acteur. And Acteur is one of the best masculine roses out there. Now, I love masculine roses. I love rose fragrances of any sort. But this one is good. This is when Azzaro was still doing decent fragrances, and I got a second back up, and I put a serious dent in these. It just smells so good. The sillage on that fragrance is phenomenal. Yeah, love Azzaro. And it's represented pretty well in my collection. Okay, yeah. Funnily, this is Azzaro, and this is Solarissimo Levanzo. It's kind of a strange name. Cool bottle though. And this is kind of a green, fruity green floral, and it's a couple of clicks to the left of something like Jope's What About Adam. It's not bad. It's a good gym fragrance. I wouldn't say it's the best thing in my collection, that's for sure. Okay. This is, again, in some of the first hauls that I ever did when I first started collecting, and this is La Nuit de l'Homme. And La Nuit de l'Homme is a killer fragrance, in my opinion. This is just the EDT, and that DNA is just a killer. That cardamom is just the best. I still wear that. I have no problem wearing that. This one, honestly, I don't know how this got in my collection. Whenever I'm confused about how something got in my collection, the answer is generally that my nephew bought it for me. And I think that's what happened here, because this is L'Homme Ultime, and this is okay, but I think it's just very light and not very interesting, and I don't know. It's not as good as La Nuit de l'Homme, that's for sure. Here's one of the first ones I ever picked up, and I picked this up for obvious reasons. This is Legend by Mont Blanc. And Mont Blanc's one of those houses that is good for beginners, and kind of lets you sort things out until you're ready to take the next step. And I picked this up because obviously it's got that fierce DNA in it. It's not fierce. Let's not fool ourselves. Okay, let's see. Here's a cheapie but a goodie. This is Elizabeth Taylor's Passion for Women. This is really nice, dark florals. It's got that nice vintage touch to it. This is a really decent fragrance, and one of these days I'm gonna have to go after the Pour Homme, the Passion for Men. Okay, this you'll know just on sight. This is Bulgari's Black, and this is really nice. This is really very nice, and it's good, for collecting. It's good to have. I should have a backup somewhere around here. The only knock against this is it's a little redundant to some other things I have in my collection, but otherwise it's a very good fragrance. Okay, this is from a house that I'm a fan of. A few of their early creations. I took this on the suggestion of Chris, I think, from Scentland, and this is Giacomo's Aura, and really a very cool bottle. Um, I really wish that houses would continue with this kind of creativity. It just makes the overall experience better. This is a green tea and tobacco. Um, it's really very nice. It's a little fleeting for my taste, but overspraying it gets you a really nice fragrance. Okay, this might surprise some of you, but I don't care. I kind of like this. I got this cheap from somebody that just wanted to get rid of it, and I was like, yeah, I'll take it, whatever. And I got it in, and to my surprise, I like it. This is Absolutia by Noctis, and you know, this house takes a lot of flack, but for me, I like this. It's very calming. This is the kind of fragrance I would wear like to bed. Um, just a great vanilla. It's just really very good. Um, you know, I don't know. Maybe I have shit taste. I don't know. Speaking of YouTuber fragrances, Ashton has always been a favorite of mine. I'm not shy to say that. I think he's got a great channel. He's always had great content. He's a little algorithmic, nowadays, but he started the Extra Gensense channel, and I think he's doing good things there. Well, anyway, he came out with a line called Galleria, and he put out 6 or 7 or 8, I don't know how many, and I went after these two, and I like these two. I'm not shy to say this is Cognac Cafe, and in cold weather, I really like that Cognac Cafe, but the one I like more is Dusk to Dawn, and the reason I like it is because it has a really prominent papyrus note, and it's really kind of unique. I really dig it, and these bottles are solid heavy. Yeah, so I know they take a lot of flack to YouTubers, but there are a few that I like. Okay, it's the only thing I have from this house, Jo Malone, and this is Murrin Cologne Intense. I like the note of myrrh, and this is good. This is really good. So even though it's intense, it doesn't stay all day. You got to kind of reapply. This one I got just as a cheapie, I think, to kind of get me free shipping, and I'm familiar with the feminine version of this, and this is Guess Seductive Noir, and this is the men's version. A little on the synthetic side, if I'm honest. But early on, I thought this was okay. I mean, I've obviously developed a little bit in my taste and discernment. But okay, well, early on, I kind of identified what notes and accords that I liked, and early on I realized that plum was one of my favorite notes, and this one is a pretty decent little plum. This is Guess 1981 Los Angeles. It's really nice. It's really very nice. I don't want to say it's nice and it's cheap. It's just nice. It's pleasant. Let's see. Okay, speaking of Mont Blanc being a good starter house, I think everybody knows this, and most people start out here, and this is Explorer. And while I get the comparisons to Aventus, I think this does its own thing. This has got a slickness to it that's really very good. I think that's a standalone. I don't think it's a replacement for anything. I think it does its own thing, and I think it does it pretty well. Okay, this is going to be a surprise, but here it is. Sauvage. by Dior, and this is the Eau de Toilette. And I don't think I'm not too snobby to say that I like this. I liked it then, and I still kind of like it. Every once in a while, I'll break it out, and it's not the most technically sound fragrance. It's not the most creative fragrance in the world, but it smells good. I mean, how could you not say that doesn't smell good? And here's another one that I'm not too snobby to say that I like. And bear in mind, a lot of these were gotten early on, but this is the only thing I've had from the line, and I think the best from the line. And this is the Privé, 1 million Privé, and I like it. Now, I'm a big fan of Paco Rabanne, but I think Paco Rabanne's best days are far behind him. I don't think that's a long shot to say. Okay, one of the last clones that I have, and speaking of Aventus clones, this is L'Aventure by El Haramain. Now, I think I've smelled the Club de Nuit Intense, and I think that's a shite fragrance. I just don't get it. I don't see how people can get past that opening, and the rest of it's just choppy and clunky. And this one, even though the opening is as silly as the opening for Club de Nuit Intense, I think this after the first few minutes is better than Club de Nuit Intense. And that may be heresy in the clone game, but I said it. There it is. Here's a couple of things that I kind of took a flyer on. Sometimes I go through Anuja's website, Enchanté, and I just kind of take flyers on stuff. And these are from the house of Gianmarco Venturi, and this one is Hot, and this one is called Essence. A hit and a miss, if I'm honest. This one's pretty decent. This is a little on the synthetic side, but it's got a unique little character to it. Okay, this for sure has to be my nephew again, and this is Coach for Men. This is pleasant, but just barely. I don't think I ever wear that, but I can't throw it out. It's my nephew gave it to me. What am I going to do? I'm going to throw it away? All right, now I'm a big fan of this house, and I started out liking this house early on, and the price point and all that, and the quality and the notes that they use are some of my favorites. But I still like it. Even now, even after with all these fragrances, I still love this house and its DNA. And this is John Varvatos. I just got this one in recently. I have quite a few, but I never had the original John Varvatos. And this is a 200 mil. I had never seen a 200 mil John Varvatos, and for the price they were asking, I snatched it up quick. I think it was like $50. And I'm a big fan of John Varvatos. Full stop. Okay, this is the one that gets, I think, the most acclaim. And this is Vintage, and this is such a great fragrance. I've discussed it with a few people that Rodrigo Flores Rue, if he were given a bigger budget and better ingredients to use, what could he have done with this line? I'd say probably we'd be talking about it like it were Frederic Malle or Amouage or Creed. I think if he had a serious budget and top-notch ingredients and then redid these DNAs, I think I could only imagine. Okay, this is, everybody knows what this is. I think I got this from Rudy. This is Artisan Pure, and I like this. It's kind of unique. It's got a unique little vibe to it. Here's one that's less known, and it's from that line. I don't like the original Artisan, but the Pure is decent, and this one's pretty good too. And this is Artisan Black, which is long discontinued. And it's kind of unique. It's kind of a semi-sweet watermelon leather, like a watermelon and black leather. It's the best way I could describe it. And doesn't sound right, but it smells right. It's really very good. And I have two, of course, that everybody should have, I think, if you're going after John Varvatos. This is Dark Rebel and Dark Rebel Rider, and these are great. Really, really great fragrances. Like I said, can you imagine if he had a bigger budget? I like Rodrigo Flores Rue. I like his style. Okay, this is the modern iteration. And I say modern iteration because I've smelled the vintage, and I was really knocked out, and I was hoping that this would measure up. And I don't have a problem with modern, like a lot of the Aramis, modern Aramis, really hold together against the vintages, but this one does not. And this is Armani O. And this is just a modern cheapie. While it does smell good, it doesn't have any weight to it. It kind of, it's very fleeting. So the DNA is there, but it's kind of flutters away, and I don't know. I don't know how much I dig it to go after a vintage, but we'll see. If something falls in my lap that's, you know, a decent price. Okay, from the House of Armaf, this is Voyage. Voyage. I think it's Voyage. Yeah, Voyage. And this was one of the first hauls I ever got, and it's kind of decent. It's kind of decent. Seriously synthetic, but really kind of decent. And this is from the House of Myrrh and Wurtz, and this is Tabac. This is just the original Tabac, and this is really very nice. Really very nice citruses. I like that. Here's one that kind of holds sentimental value to me. It's kind of synthetic, and it's an aquatic whatever. And I'm a fan of this house, in fact. This is Roberto Cavalli, and this is, I think, called Just Cavalli. Yes, Just Cavalli. And this isn't, you know, this isn't setting the world on fire, but it's kind of nice. And like I said, it has sentimental value, so I keep it, you know. And it's not a bad gym scent. I'll wear it to the gym. I don't give a damn. Okay, let's see. Okay, from the House of Banana Republic. This is Black Walnut Legend. And while this is a little bit light and airy, it's still very good. It has a really nice DNA. I kind of like that. I have another Banana Republic, and this one is very good. Maybe one of the best from the house. And this is 17 Oud Mosaic. Sorry about the reflection. I don't know how well you can see that. But this one is very good. Kind of a dry, oody, masculine. I like that. I like that a lot. And I'm not shy to wear that one either. Okay. We're getting down to the end. We're doing pretty good on time. This is a favorite of the Ducks, and this is from the House of Loewe, and this is Loewe Pour Homme. This is a little bit older, but this isn't the first run of it or anything. But this is an amazing fragrance. I see why Ducks raved about this for so long. It's a very good fragrance. Okay, we've got one more from the House of Banana Republic, and this is called Slate. And I think there's like maybe 2 or 3 notes to this, and it's just a pleasant little airy floral, kind of a gym scent, maybe even a bed scent, something to wear calming to bed. This one I've had for a long time, and it's kind of on life support. I had to do emergency surgery. I don't know if I stepped on it or cracked it or something, but I had to put tape across it. This is Bulgari's Aquamarine, and this one was good enough for me. I didn't really see a need to go through the rest of the line, The only one that I might want, just because I hear it's weird and strange and that's my bag, I might go after Aqua Amara. And I might go after it for collector's purposes too, because one of these days it's gonna get rare and it's gonna get hard to get, and might just keep it sealed for for sorting out a trade or something. Okay, now I happened to tuck these on that bottom shelf because I didn't have anywhere else to put them. But my first experience with Amen was the Mugler version, and I've told this story a few times. The Mugler version, I struggled with this for so long. I just could not see why everybody loved this fragrance. I just couldn't get next to it. I couldn't get, and I still can't get next to it. So what I did was I went after the original, and this is Angel Men by Thierry Mugler. And now I see what everybody's talking about. This is very good. That Mugler version is, I've never experienced such a disparity in formulations as I have between this Angel Men and that Mugler version. I've come around on the Amen, and there are others in the line that I like even more. In fact, I love this. This is B-Men, and B-Men is a rhubarb, so it should come as no surprise to anybody that I like that. This may be the best from the house, in my opinion, and this is Taste of Fragrance. Such a great bottle. This is, or Pure Chili, I think is one of the nicknames, and this ticks all the boxes for me. This is a really, really good fragrance. Let's see, Pure Leather, and these are such great bottles. These rubber flasks are great. I mean, the sprayer is infamously bad, but I just wish that modern houses would take the care and consideration in their packaging that houses did in the past. And this is Pure Coffee. You knew I had to have a coffee from the line. Pure Coffee. And with that, I believe that ties up everything from the bottom shelf. So it's onward and upward from here. I'd like to thank everybody for coming back. I'd like to thank everybody for all the great comments and suggestions and feedback in the comment section. Don't be shy to let me know if you could teach me a little something about anything I've had here, or point me in a direction of something better. Always look forward to the interaction. Appreciate all the love. Y'all have a great day. Stay grateful. Peace.